Another day, another project starting. We get one done, we add 3 more. And this has been a project that I've been trying to get on for a while. It's kind of windy, but it's relatively nice. So I have an old go-kart frame here that we had plans years ago to, you know, build actually a Jeep and stuff for my buddy's son. That fell through and it's just kind of sat here for the last couple years, and I was gonna junk it. Now I think what I'm gonna do is we're gonna try and build our produce stand, because I want to build a produce stand, and I think we're gonna build that out of this. Now you may be asking yourself, well, how are you gonna do that with it being like a cart? Well, I have thoughts in my head. I'm gonna cut like all these, so like this piece here, cut it there, cut it there, cut as much pieces of metal that are straight. So like we'll cut it here, we'll cut it here, you know, so we can get the most amount of straight pieces possible. And we'll just cut this whole thing apart, kind of demo the whole thing. And then I'm thinking we'll put it on wheels, and we have these here that are in pretty good shape yet, for the most part. And then we got the axles here, sort of. So we'll probably cut these off somehow and have to tighten this somehow that these don't move. But that should work, I'm hoping. So I'm gonna take it over to the shop there. We'll start cutting. I'm assuming a grinding wheel would do the trick for this. I don't really think I need anything special. It does have an axle. We do have that rear axle there, which is right there. And we do have one big tire, which would be nice to have them on a bigger tire, but I don't have the other rim and the other tire. We ended up having to cut the other one off of the axle because we couldn't get it off of the keyway. So unfortunately I don't have that, but I do have these ones. And I don't know why these ones wouldn't hold up. And I'll look up the specs on these tires to make sure that they're heavy enough and that it'll do the trick. There's a much better view of it now that all the leaves and the other plastic parts aren't in there. So this should work, I think, hopefully, for what we need. I definitely want it longer than this, but I'm thinking maybe width-wise it's pretty good, but I have to obviously double check. But because there's 2 layers, we can extend it longer. So we'll get cutting. So I have no design for this whatsoever. I didn't draw anything. I didn't figure out measurements. I don't know how really long I want this thing to be. So I just kind of have to go with it. Main thing right now is just get everything cut apart. It's officially stripped down. We got some lanks, we got some junk. Tried to take them off, but whatever, didn't work. I think we're gonna leave this. I was just gonna cut all this off, but these hinge parts have to come off, and then we can start from here and go out. So that gives us pretty good base. And I think instead of trying to cut all these brackets and stuff off, I think we're just gonna flip it over. Since that side is flat, we can mount our wood right there. So that'll work out better. But in the meantime, I still have the seat to do. I have to get the seat that's over there yet, or the seat frame, cut some pieces off of that. Figure out how long I want it. I hope it's wide enough the way it is. I think it will be, but again, I gotta make sure of that. And we gotta come up with a design. Well, I thought I was gonna have to take these off, these brackets, but they actually do sit flush for the most part. They may stick down just a tad, but I don't think it's really gonna be that big of a deal. And we're gonna have it on wheels anyway, so it doesn't have, I mean, we gotta have it straight so I can build off of it, and so it's, you know, level that way, and our like little building type thing isn't, you know, out of complete kilter. But I think the biggest thing I need to do, because I don't want this pivoting, so I think we'll take these bolts out, and then that'll leave us our frame, and we'll figure out how long we want it. I think the width here is good, because we're at about 30 inches, and I'm fine with that. So 30 inches, we'll just go a little bit longer. All right, there's our base. So since the other end is flat, we'll do all of our welding and configuring with it on this side, and then we'll flip it over probably after we mount our axle type thing for our wheels. So just with these pieces laying here, it's roughly 6 feet. I'm pretty sure, I feel like it would be better if it were 8 feet long, personally. You know, it's better to have more room, extra room. It's better to have extra room than not enough, in my opinion. And you never know what we're gonna get into. So I really think 8 foot is probably best. We could probably get away with 6 feet, honestly, but I don't wanna cut it short. I'm definitely watching the weather close. I don't know, weather says 30 minutes rain, and we have one big mess. Where I'm actually getting further than what I anticipated. I figured I wouldn't get any further than just ripping everything apart. So the fact that we're actually starting to assemble this thing is kind of nuts. I'm doing stuff completely backwards. I have like 20 different projects going at one time. I should be getting one thing done at a time, you know, the hay wagon, the hay bind, the potato plow and everything. There's just so many different things, and we just keep jumping around, but I don't want to get tired of working on one thing, you know, every single day, day in, day out. So it gives me a little bit of variance, something different. But I managed to tack on those two pieces, those 2 footers that we put on there. And again, that's probably a little shy of 6 feet. So we have to weld on pieces there yet again, and we do have cross pieces. I think we're going to use that square stock maybe to go between, kind of for our bracing. And we're like I said, we're building this. Hopefully it stays, you know, fairly level as we go. We'll get our cross bracing in, but basically once we have the frame built, you know, we can start putting wood on it and everything. And at that point, I mean, it really shouldn't take long to get this thing together. Well, unfortunately, we didn't beat the rain. it's moving in quick. I gotta get cleaned up ASAP. I started to clean up a little, but we gotta get the welder away. So this is what we got so far. 6 foot. We managed to get a cross support beam in there, or a cross member. I need to extend it out because I think 8 feet is where we want to be. And yeah, it's coming together. So I will resume this next time when the weather is not like this. That's gonna do it. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. Drop a like on the video, share it. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.